Oh, you ready? You
I
read
think
your
I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm ready.
you read your packet. You know what
Yeah.
what we're doing here.
You know,
You've
like-
seen the show, and you learned the theme song, right?
Oh, I did. Is there?
It's the theme song for the show. It's the theme song you should
to
know.
I
It's
know
the
it.
theme song
for
ready
it
to go. It's the theme song that you know.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that part? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe-
I'm glad you remembered the yes. Lets me know you did the homework.
Okay, we could do the theme song again if we needed to.
No, it's perfect.
Oh.
I'm here with songstress and raconteurs King Garrity, who is here to walk us through the song Empty Kingdom on her new album, Atomic Hymns. It's very funny. I'm here with songstress and raconteurs King Garrity, who is here to walk us through the song Empty Kingdom on her new album, Atomic Hymns.
I've been dancing to some dirges, banging on a bleak drum. I've been heralding the scourges of an empty kingdom.
I am so pleased to be here. I really am tickled to be your first podcast guest because, you told me you were going to have a podcast, and I figured I might be your first guest
That is true.
because I am the only person you know.
That is also true.
Yeah, which is, it doesn't make it any less of an honor. I'd like to emphasize that. Like, I really do think that it's a tremendous honor, but I also might be the only guest you ever have, which is also fine.
We will see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Okay, now first question. You think it's so great, huh? Making this song?
Well, I mean, I'm very proud of this song. Like, I think it turned out really well. Like,
You
I'm
think
very,
it better than me?
No, like I would never say that I'm better than somebody else. That would be rude. No.
Okay, like if I said I bit into a bag of rice in the pantry, you wouldn't say you're better than me?
Well, I mean,
If you knew that about me as a person?
I don't do that, but I also don't want to tell you the secret of how I buy extra rice bags that are decoys that I don't mind if you bite on.
Huh? Do what now? Walk me through your songwriting process. The song is Empty Kingdom. Where's this kingdom located?
Oh, well, it's not like located in a place. It's a metaphor.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's
What is the metaphor? I mean, what is the metaphor?
the metaphor is it's about driving people away with self-destructive behavior. So it's not like a kingdom per se. It's a kingdom of the heart,
Yeah.
Do you have a kingdom of the heart?
I could have interviewed Roller Skate. Roller Skate, the one roller skate in the attic that you have is haunted.
Is there a roller skate in the attic that's haunted?
Yes, it's invisible because it's a ghost. It's haunted.
I guess I just don't know. Like, why is this the first I'm hearing about it? Because, like, I feel like maybe you could have told me earlier, like, hey, there's a haunted roller skate in the attic and it's scaring me.
I mean, it's scary. You don't need to know about everything. The things I know about this about this home.
But I mean, I could get like an exterminator or a ghost.
Not exterminator.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Jeez. Wonder why I don't tell you everything.
There's not a real kingdom. It's just like the kingdom is like you've driven people away with your feelings.
I see. Like when you eat a rice bag in a home that is not your own. And then it drives everyone away.
That's yes. Yeah, I think I imagine it would be a lot like that. I've never done that before, but that sounds right on to me. And I'm sorry that that's happened to you also.
Thank you. And then you went into a studio and sang into a microphone holding onto one ear of the headphones. And then the producer to the other producer, and they say, "Are you hearing this? It's the new sound we've been looking for."
That's yeah. I think that's how they do it in movies, but
In real, yes.
but
That's where, yes.
in real life, people just record at their house. Like I recorded it just here, like at my house. Like where we are.
Oh,
Yeah, like where we are right now.
I see.
There was no producer and there was no studio and there was no magic headphone moment. There wasn't any of that.
Well, as you're speaking, I'm seeing all these microphones and
Yeah.
computer boxes and to make a beautiful music.
That is what you use the computer box. It's the same one that we're being recorded on right now, but you use the computer box to make the sound.
But you don't write on the computer.
No.
It's not the boss of you.
No, and also, yeah, the computer does not write the song for you. It also doesn't tell you what
You
to
don't
write.
yell into the computer, make the sounds of today.
Yeah, that's not what it does. So I actually I write on piano. Like, I wrote this song. I composed on piano, and it's you start out with something that is very spare, and there's just like this little boom boom doom 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 doom, just this little piano roll, and then you have to like take that and then build a whole song out of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you start with an idea on the piano, and then from that you could build a whole thing. How do you come up with the idea? What's the motif of it?
The motif of it. Do you know who Koji Kondo is?
Japanese composer of many beloved themes for Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh yeah. I'm honestly kind of surprised to hear that you do know who that is, considering
who that is.
you did not know about how you record in a computer box. And also that you called it a computer box. I think all of those things are maybe confusing me a little bit.
Well, you learn what you get for Christmas.
Okay. Oh, that's true. I don't want to guess your age about, like what was your childhood video game console, or if you even had access to them, because, it may have just been rat stuff. I'm not sure.
I looked through a peephole and watched other children playing it and learned how to play the games from when they would teach their little siblings how to play it. And I always wanted to play it. And I said, who come up with that music? And then I think they must have heard me a little voice, because then they looked it up and they said, I think it's Koji Kondo plays the music. And I learned about computer box music.
That's so sad. That's the saddest story I've ever heard. I'm crying. I'm crying.
It's a moving podcast. We got to learn about your song, though. We're here to talk about the empty kingdom. Not my empty kingdom of the heart.
What a blow for every living thing. A land of woe, and baby, I'm the king. We're running docks when there's roiling in the seas, and all our stock is sinking. Oh, believe me, I've been weeping with the big sores banging on a bleak drum.
I am like a weak.
Keeping all the sick scores in this empty
I never even got to say what the Koji Kondo thing that I was talking about. So anyway, your sad rat life aside, Koji Kondo, one of the things that he wrote was he wrote all of the themes in Super Mario 2 for the NES. And the Underworld theme kept popping into my mind. Or I think it's called the underground theme, not the whatever. It doesn't. I don't know. But it's the one when you go into a vase and it's like ding 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 ding
Boom, 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 boom. And then the masks come out.
But yeah, that's what Phantos. Yeah, and Phanto plural singular. Anyway, so that was just in my head, and so I built a little drum kit around it, like a fake out drum kit with like 2 pitched bongos and a cowbell, and there were some guitar scratches doing the like a little bit, and then I combined that with the Easy Drummer, like an electronic kit. It was in the Dream Pop expansion. And that's so I had to build the percussion kit out first. That was
This is
my
like
first
a drum machine inside the computer?
Yeah, it's a drum machine inside the computer. That's exactly what it is. It's not a tortured small man playing drums inside the computer, if you were wondering or worried, because I know where your mind kind of goes, and given your rat hole experiences, I didn't want to.
It could be little people living big things.
It could be little people living in big things. That could be a lot of things. Did you know?
Yes.
Okay, somebody on my Instagram, which was a very nice compliment, said that this song reminded them of Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes.
Oh.
Are you familiar?
I mean, that makes its way into people. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know how much Yes you listened to in the people.
Lonely heart.
That's just exactly how it goes.
Okay.
And it sounds really good.
What about that now?
But anyway, I learned on a thing, I don't know, where do you learn things? Peephole. I learned in a peephole that one of the signature sounds of the percussion on that song was the cowbell, and the cowbell is pitched differently. Like if you listen, it's pitched differently throughout the song. which is not something that everybody automatically did back then, but it's now pretty common to like make it sound like a different note, even though it's a percussion thing. But I did that on this song, and I think that's what the person heard. I did that with the bongos and with the cowbell. The cowbell was pitched on this song.
Cool. Okay.
It is
And that's the
cool.
only instruments on the song.
And that's the only instruments on the song, because if you got bongos and a cowbell, you don't need anything else. That's how you make music.
Okay, then what comes next?
Okay, and then after the percussion, then it's sort of like you have somewhere to go. So I wanted it to sound sort of medieval, but then also it would sound electronic because, again, the Koji Kondo of it all was in my head. And so then you kind of like build out the arrangement from there. So then I added this really thick sub bass that had like a lot of sub frequencies that was really like booming.
Sounds like you have to make a lot of room in the mix for a sub bass.
You do have to make a lot of room in the mix for a sub bass. In fact,
Because you could only have so much one type of sound in one song.
You know, that sounds like you're just grasping for stuff and making it up, but that is actually like true.
Yeah.
That's actually true of science
Thank
of
you.
the science of music and the science of your ears. Have you been in any other good pantries lately?
There's this one lady. She cleans pools for a living, I think. Because I look at all her personal checks, and she when she leaves on the counter when I go scramble around at night.
So when rats are like going in your house and
Uh-huh.
and eating your stuff, and I don't want to be rude, but also maybe pooping on your stuff. They're also
in the dark, it's fine.
in the dark, it's fine. They're also reading your personal correspondence. This is
and
horrifying.
the checks, the line where you write, for. So she writes pool, scooping the pool.
Oh, so are these checks to her, or did she write them to somebody?
She writes them to people. To what she writes, for scooping your pool. Here's a check for inviting me over to scoop your pool.
Maybe it's I know maybe
It's the best I can glean from being a rat and whatnot. And I'm reading in the dark, bear in mind.
So maybe those are invoices from her business, which is not the same thing as a check.
No, it's not a voice, it's a check.
Okay, well, it sounds like you know better than me. So
I do run the podcast. I do have a theme song.
So you've been in some houses and you saw some checks.
Yeah. You learn a lot about people by checks. They write for pool cleaning. That's noteworthy. We're talking about it. And then one man had a check, and the line he wrote for, you know what you've done. You know. And I mean, there's a whole story there. You wonder why I run around the dark at night. It's good to be a rat. I know everybody's business. He knows what he done. He knows what he done. Whatever that means. I wish I could see that guy's checks.
That kind of answers a lot of questions about what the rest of the mix is going to sound like, because you've got like a big fat bass sound. Then now you have to fill out the rest of the frequency spectrum.
I see. So you're approaching this like a composition.
Yeah, like a composition.
You don't just get a groove and say, hey, that's the new sound, and then
you don't just go like, go for it, boys.
Okay.
Like that's not how you do it. That's not how I do it. So then you have to fill out the rest of the frequency spectrum. So you've got like the big chunky low end, and then you start filling out the middles and the highs. And
then we get to the beauty instruments.
And then we get to the beauty instruments, the glamour instruments. So I found this synth that was like a guitar flute combo, and I thought it sounded very medieval. So I was like, okay, and we'll put that in. That would be like another
the synth
piece.
players of the medieval times.
Yeah, there were many of them. They all had Flock of Seagulls haircuts.
Yeah. And the Pizza Hut sunglasses.
They had that in the medieval times. Yeah, that was definitely a
Yeah,
feature.
I know.
History. But anyway, so then you just go from there, and that's what I'm saying. But you have to give a lot of thought and scrutiny to how you're going to layer sounds all across the frequency spectrum, and how you're going to have interesting little things for the ear without overpowering it at any point.
So basically, you have to make space for all the instruments that you're adding.
Yeah, you have to make space.
Well, I heard some very fine guitar work, I think.
You did.
And judging by your friendship with Computer, I would guess that these guitars were recorded with a self-powered amp modeler such as a Kemper. And if so, please describe the features and advantages of the Kemper amp modeler.
Quick question. I just am surprised to hear that you know so much about guitar amp modelers.
Why?
I don't know. Did you do Did you
No.
do research?
No.
Did you learn it?
I learned from other Christmases again, I think. A recent Christmas.
Was there a
From
family
a very, very special 34-year-old
boy?
man
I was gonna say
whose
what
mother got him
a Kemp-
something.
got him a Kemper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very wealthy family that would have gotten their kid a Kemper for Christmas because they are pretty pricey.
Spoiled.
Spoiled. I'm not going to say, I don't know. I don't know your heart. Maybe they're spoiled. I don't know.
But what is this thing and how do we use that in this song?
So my guitar player, the fella named Will Malone, on the internet, you'd call him Senator Cyborg, at Senator Cyborg. Anyway, he would play, like I would give him guidance and I would say, okay, I want the flourish to do this and I need it to happen here. And then so he records it at his computer via the Kemper. So it's like a guitar amp and a computer interface in one.
Oh, I see. And he can email email the files, and your computer says, "You got mail."
Yeah.
And you can put it in the song.
And then it did say you got mail. That's exactly how that happened.
Okay.
That's you are describing that correctly. So the guitars, there's not like, I mean, there you hear the guitar flourishes, but they're mostly flourishes and some like little runs that are also supposed to sound Nintendo-esque. And they especially do because what I did after he played them was I put a low harmonizer on them. I think I'll have to like go in the session and look, but I use this plugin from Slate Digital all the time, which is called Murda Melodies, and it has a harmonizer on it that's easy to work with. So if you hear the guitar sounding doubled and otherworldly and weird, that's what that is.
Like the future.
Like the future and the past.
Oh.
And the past of the future.
Oh. And that's roller skate if you hear that at night. His roller skate.
Yeah.
You hear it above you.
I
And now
do
while you're
hear
playing
that.
the songs. That might have been inspired by roller skate.
I just didn't know haunted roller skate had so much
yeah.
lore in
You
my
should
own.
interview I should interview roller skate. I don't know
You
why
really
I didn't do that.
So coming up next week, your next guest will be the haunted roller skate.
Okay.
That's great to
They
know.
didn't write any songs though.
They didn't write any songs, but they do.
But we're learning how to write a song.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Maybe
okay. The most important voice on song is sing.
is singing. That is me. I'm the one who
Singing.
sings.
Excuse me.
It's called, yes, right, correct. The singing.
Is it called a gerund to do singing?
Yeah, and that's me. I did sing. Obviously, that's my singing voice. And
What's your approach to sing?
so I like a lot of background vocals, like a lot of layered, very dense. I like expressive background vocals too. Like they need to sound like characters. It's not just a bunch of me's. It is a bunch of me's.
Song should tell a story.
A song should tell a story. That's correct. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Crumpled on the throne and left bereft of pride. Don't need no walls when the mob has rocked.
Is the ghost of the roller skate in the room with
It
us?
calls to me. It says, "Why'd you solve the murder?"
Okay, so we need to get some ghost hunters in this house, and we need to get rid of the ghost of the roller skate, okay? I don't know. I'll pay for it. So if you were concerned about that, don't be.
West side.
Ghost hunt. We'll take care of it. Ghost hunt. Don't be scared of it. That's not very good. It's okay. Anyway, what were we talking about?
What appeals to you about background sing?
Oh, right. I could see from my answer that was logically the question I was answering. So anyway, I like background vocals because it's also a chance to kind of agree with yourself and to sort of underpin the sentiment of your song.
Yeah, I talk to
So,
myself a lot. Yeah, you
yeah.
talk to them.
I guess it's lonely being a rat. Do you know what a signature salad is?
Like rice and bag.
Yeah, like if you're at a restaurant and there's like a certain salad, it's got fancy ingredients and that's like what everybody orders it by name.
Yeah, rice and bag, as I said. Rice. I'll have the rice and bag on the salad. I'll have salad with the rice and bag dressing.
Okay. I'll go to Panera and order that.
Okay. And I will order Empty Kingdom, which is track 2 on Atomic Hymns, and you can stream it everywhere.
Everywhere. Please stream it everywhere.
Please do.
Okay. It sounds good.
I like it.
I like it too. And watch the lyrics.
Rice and bag, but
Right. Well,
it's better than rice. It's good.
I mean,
It's the rice and bag of music.
thank you. That's really kind of you to say.
Okay. How do you think that went? You feel good about that?
I feel pretty good about it, but I don't know. It feels like it was maybe a little all over the place.
No, it was good.
You don't think so?
It was great. Everybody loved it. They were writing in real. I've got letters.
You got letters?
Yeah, they mailed to me the letters.
In the last 10 to 20
they said
minutes?
they like that last question for sure.
I don't
sure.
even. Well, I'm happy to hear that you got letters.
Yeah.
So back to the haunted roller skate.
Yeah.
I feel like we never got a solution on that.
We gotta solve the murder. You gotta stay, right? You gotta stay. We gotta stay up and solve it.
Okay, well we'll do that next. So somebody was murdered and that's why it's haunted.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, the roller skate was a beautiful fiance in 1827, and then there was a fire at the carriage factory, and she fell into the chemicals and became the arch enemy of the man. And then, so roller skate fell into the vat. The roller skate flew up into the air and onto the gangway, and then slid off all the way to this attic. And who knows
Can I ask you-
who dropped in the vat?
Okay, but can I ask you something? Did you just say a bunch of words out of your mouth? You just made that up. I don't.
No.
I don't think that
I mean,
that
that's
is
what
real.
I pieced together of the murder so far. That's my best by
I
myself.
think-
Well,
but
that's pretty good.
To me, it sounds
we
like
got something to go on.
it sounds like you were just making up a story as you thought of it, and that's not correct.
No. I confabulated a little bit. I mean, it's a
Okay.
cold case.
Well, the
The case of the rolling murder.
internet sleuths. That one's for you.
Yeah.
That's for the internet sleuths out there.
Solve it. See if you can do better.
Yeah.
Solve the roller. Solve
So
it.
the other thing that I just wanted to clear up is you talked about this cheese and a mousetrap, and I just
Yeah.
need you to know that
He ain't no help. He ain't no good detective. He tried. He's in a trap. Look how far he got.
I just
they're out
want-
there. They're on to me. They know
Okay.
I'm on to it.
I just want you to know that I did not put out a mousetrap with cheese in it. So if
Thank
that
you.
is here in the house, then you need to tell me where it is. I gotta get rid of it. That's unsafe.
I'm not
for you.
tempted. I don't care about that.
But aren't you afraid it can go off and get you?
No, I eat rice bag, and also when you leave your coffee out, I have a sip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you feel sick, that's why.
Fair
Cause me.
enough.
That's me in my mouth.
Okay, it's all good to know. It's all very good to know. Thank you.